Okay, so as for the last session, we are going ahead with some, basics on top of Python and a particular exercise on that. And we are also having some stuck point for a few of the codes in SQL side in last day. So let's cover up this session. For today's session for Python. After that, if we have some time, we can quickly discuss on the stuck point. There was some, uh, I mean, uh, issue over there in MySQL as well as some minimal mistakes has also been done at that day. So let's just quickly go through today's session. Then if we have some time, we can quickly check up those stuff. Okay, so today's session, not only for today's, for this week's, or maybe some days for the next week's as well. So that should be covered up by Python. So today, the basic stuff on top of data types, especially two data structures, just like list, dictionary, will be covering up those stuffs. And let's go ahead with these steps one by one, and hopefully maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow onwards we can use Python as one of the data engineering tool. Okay, so uh, we just maximize the screen. Yeah, so that data types things I think we have already learned. Integer, float, boolean, string, list. Those are all the basic data types. A list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Those are based on some data structures. So those four, the last four should be very much useful if we are just want to use those stuffs as a data engineering tool or storage of particular data in particular data structure. So that four should be very much useful. Okay, just one more thing. How I will be just giving you some more thing. Let me open PyCharm. Okay, so first of all, I think you have installed Python and PyCharm at your system, correct? Is there any stuck point there while installing? If you are facing any issue, you can tell me, then I'll be trying to create some short videos on top of the installation. But the installation is very simple for Python and PyCharm. Even those kind of stuffs is also available in other websites and all. And there is no such hard rule over there. Installing the thing, just go through the website that I have provided earlier and download this thing and install it. Okay. Okay, if you have another IDE, that is fine, no issue. But Python is the general one that for this course that should be the thing to be installed. Okay, okay, then I think we have most of the versions today. We delete that stuffs. Okay, so there are data types we just learned over here. Actually, suppose we want to check in our Python IDE for a particular data and the type of the data. So we can check it, this way, just like, let me put type. Type is a function, it's a inbuilt function. So type of 8, okay? Excuse me, I'm just printing it. Okay, so 8 is integer in nature. If I run this thing, okay, so you can get this kind of output, plus int. Okay, so suppose I'm just dividing it by 3, 8 by 3. I do not know what is the output, but the output should be in float. 8 is not been divided by 3, so some decimal point should be there and should be. So it by default, Python has the capability. We do not have to assign this thing in int, float, this kind of stuffs. What we are used to do, in structural programming, just like C and all, we have to declare whether the variable is integer or float or this kind of stuffs. We can declare directly this kind of stuffs, and Python will be determining what kind of data type we are putting over here. Okay, so just like 8 by 3, I'm just putting true and false. Those are the data for boolean class bool. Okay, so it's a boolean data type. We can use, this is called list. I'll be coming to this thing within few seconds, few minutes. Okay, so it should be putting list. Okay, just like same, there is a tuple, set, dictionary. I'll be coming to this thing in details. But the basic, I mean, we can check in this way what are the data type in a variable. We can put this thing in a variable as well. So what is Python variable? Just like we can assign any value, just like suppose R. Okay, R equal 5 or 7. Okay, so I have assigned the value, a value to R. So R is a variable over here. Okay, we do not have to put any keyword while assigning the value, just like set, let over here. If you are just going ahead with Scala or any other programming language, they're going to use a particular keyword, where, val. So this kind of declaration is required before variable declaration. So this is not been done over. I mean that is not required over here in Python. Directly put the variable name and assign the value. Okay, just like just a second. I just deleted this thing and assigning this thing over here. So I declared a list into this variable R. If I just directly put R over here, okay, that should be declared at the beginning. Then okay, so it should be also working. So this is called variable. Whatever data we are putting over here, the particular variable will be assigning this particular data type only. Okay, I just want to mean the same thing. Very simple. Okay, so some more few concepts I'll be providing before going to the main topic because those are very much important in the latter section. What is f string over here? So if we want to, I mean, there is a, I mean, inbuilt function called print. Okay, what is function? I'll be coming to this later. Function, just in brief, I'm telling over here, print. This is a function, inbuilt function. That particular function will be helping to give output whatever we are putting over here. The same way it will be showing me the output at the ID console over here. Okay, just like type. Type is a function as well. Function should be in, I mean, just like function name and open brace and close brace. Okay, so whatever we are passing over there within these braces, it should be, it's a parameter for that function and it should be returning the output in the required manner. So for the type, we just have to pass the particular parameter and the type will help us what is the data type of this parameter value. Okay. So this is called function. I'll be coming to this function. Maybe, I mean, we'll be also learning some user-defined function in later section, maybe today or tomorrow. So there we can use our own function. We can create this function and use those functions at our own way. Okay. Going to the slide. Okay. What is f string now? Suppose we want to pass some value. Okay. Suppose I'm assigning a value over here r equal 8. I want to print I want to print 8 from the variable itself. Suppose we want to print R value. Okay. The value of R. Okay. If it's a string inside print, we just need to put a single quote or double quote over there. The value of R is, you can put 8 over here, but we want to put it in calculative manner. I can pass directly the R variable and inside the print, it should be taking the value of this variable only. How that can be possible? So that is the way we can use f string. F string means just we have to put a f keyword before the single quote. Okay. And over here, we do not have to pass the particular value. Rather, we can pass the variable enclosed by curly braces. Sorry. Okay. So f string is been used to print a variable's value. I mean, it should be taking that particular, if we have this one within a f string, it will be searching for where the R variable is there. If there is any R variable before this print statement. So they will be checking for R variable and the value should be assigned over in this place. If we just going to run this, okay, so we can get, yeah, you can see our value has been printed over here. So that is the concept of abstract. It's very simple, just for a quick concept over there. And one, two more things in print, maybe that should be useful. So if we have any variable, I mean, if we have any integer string, we can directly put it without single quote or double quote over there. If there is string, we have to put or enclose the thing in single quote and double quote. It's like hello. We cannot pass this thing because it's a string data type. We need to put it in single quote, or maybe we can use double quote over there. And if we start with double quote, that should be double quote. And ended with double quote. Okay. This is one more thing. Okay. If we want to print multiple line in multiple printout, then we can use this kind of triple single quote in this way. If we pass this thing, then how, I mean, our printing strategy can be different. Just like hello, my name is something. Okay. If I just going to print it, it should be coming into the same manner. Suppose we want to give it in structural way that the printing should be in this way, then we can use this thing. If we use the same thing in a single code, then that should not be possible. That is showing the error as well. Multi-line, it should not be going ahead with single code. Okay. If it's a single line, then there'll be no issue. Okay. So those are some simple, very simple print uh, statement as I mean and all. I mean, if you are just going to be accustomed with Python, then that should be very much simple to you as well. Okay. So moving to the next slide with some more functions on top of uh, in the inbuilt function in the Python. So those are some maths function. I mean, generally worked on the integer or uh, different data type. I mean, integer especially integer and float. Okay. Till now, any doubt from anyone? Whatever we are just learning over here. Nothing? Okay. Thank you. So we have we have lots of actually inbuilt function available over there in Python. Especially those can be maths function or any other based on some string. Also, we have lots of function. If we are just going to be accustomed, we cannot learn everything in a single day or in a single session as well. But if we have the concept of what kind of functions we can use, how to use the functions, then that should be very much useful. Or we can quickly search in the web that we want this kind of operation, what kind of function is required for Python. Then that is easily, available over there at the website as well. Just I'll be just going through over here what is function and how the functions can be used in the code. I'm just going through, going to learn on top of those kind of topics and all. So uh, while learning the thing or while searching up the thing at the web portal, that should be easier for you as well. So just like maths function, we can use this kind of thing. Abs mean absolute. So if we have some, okay, let me show you. Okay. So suppose r the value of r is a negative number, -8. Okay. So absolute things means abs are, I'm putting in this way. It's a variable as well. So what it's doing, it's doing an absolute thing, absolute function on top of R. Okay. We just want to print. Okay, let me directly print this thing. So just like it's doing the modulus part over there. It's not taking the minus or plus sign over there. Rather, it's taking only the I mean modulus part, the value. Okay. Okay. Round is round of thing. If we are just use just going through a demo of this round, if we have just like uh some decimal point over there, just like this way, it should be rounding off and putting the floor value or ceiling value based on which is the number. Maybe it's zero point 0.7 or zero point 0.8, then it should be taking the floor value of the same number if we are using round functions. Okay. So similar kind of things. There are lots of trigonometric functions, sine, cos, tan. We can also use that stuff. Okay, let me show you quickly. This is not actually. I think this is not a Python inbuilt function. Let me show you. Suppose value sine 8. Okay, 8 is fine. Let me do sine 8 there. I'm assuming that should be throwing an error because sine is a it's not an inbuilt function in this Python interpreter what we have installed over there. Okay, so for this kind of stuff, I'll be coming to this thing later, maybe tomorrow's session again when we'll be learning class and all. So we need to import a particular packages from the outside of this interpreter. I've already installed this module earlier, so then we have to use this kind of statement. The outside package we need to import over here. So import math. Math is a module. Okay, so inside math we have this trigonometric function. So now we can see that the error has been removed. If we run this thing, then that should be working. But yeah, 8 is, I mean, over there by default, it should not be working as a degree of, I mean, those angles on in the sine. So rather they will be using in radian forms. Okay, so just like they can print out what should be the statement. Sine 8 radian should be in this format. Fine. So this kind of external module we'll be learning again maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow's session. So when we'll be covering classes and all. So today, I mean, it's simple on top of the data type we are learning the stuff. So today I'm not going to this with much more details. Okay, binary. Bin function is for binary. So if we just want to pass some integer value, it should be helping us with the binary value of the same integer. So those are the I mean general maths function which should be used in our later chapters as well. Okay. So okay, there is another concept that is called methods. So some difference on there is some difference on top of I mean how the functions is operating and the methods are operating as well. So I have just taken some I mean few of the example over here. Just like there is some I mean the declaration difference as well. So over there, all those five examples are we will be working on top of string data type. So just like the first one is a function that is length, and the other one are different methods. So how that should be working? So the first one is length. Length should be working on top of string. So you need to put braces over there and just let me put hello. Okay, hello. Or let me put one thing. Let me do one thing. Let me declare hello in a particular uh, suppose variable equal hello. Okay, let me pass the variable. Let me print the same. If we do not put print, it should be executed successfully, but we cannot see any output over here. That's why print statement, each of the, I mean, if you want to see what should be the output, how it looks like, we need to put a print uh, over here. Okay. So what I just mean to say, I can put this thing, length variable. So it should be passing on, it should be calculating length of this variable, but we cannot see. I'm running this thing. The process has been finished with the correct exit code. And this is fine, there is no issue, but we cannot find what is the particular length. So for that thing, we need to use the print keyword as well to print the length over here in the console itself in this IDE. Okay, so the length of this variable is 5. So this is a string function over there that is called length. I mean length len, that should be calculating the length of this variable. Okay, so similar kind of stuff. I mean function should be operating on top of string in this way. Okay, but how to check the methods? So we need to check variable, it's a string, then put a dot. If we put the dot, then we can use to see in the ID itself. The ID has the capability, it should be showing us what are the different methods we can work on top of that particular variable. Okay, just like this find, upper, replace, join. Let me use something, find, the first one. How to use find? Okay, so find, we need to pass some those parameters as well. So just like in find, I think inside the variable we can find a particular string and how many numbers. So suppose age. If I can pass age over there, it should be helping us the frequency of age in this first particular string, but it should be twice. Not sure. We put L. Okay. So yeah, it is passing us the position of the, suppose age I'm passing. So the string position in the string. Okay. So what is position? I mean age position is 0th. So as per array, it's a string array actually. On character array we can say it's passing the particular position of this particular alphabet. So H is in 0th position. If I pass E, it should be 1 because E is second position. But while calculating for this string array, it's 0, 1. So it should be returning 1. Okay. So find is a particular method which should be helping us the index particularly. Yeah. What is the index of this character? Okay, so just like the same thing, we have lots of things. Uh, we have also provided something over here, but what are the probable? Just like let me use upper on top of the variable on this variable var. I'm putting upper. Nothing to pass. It's on working on top of self. So that's why it's just. Converting everything in uppercase. Okay, that's it. Just like over there, you can use capitalize. The capitalize, what is the difference between upper and capitalize? The first alphabet should be start with cap. That's it. So those are different kind of methods which are already been available with that particular string classes. In this Python, in this Python, whatever version we have of the Python we have installed, that interpreter should be having those kind of stuffs. Okay, so those are the basic things on top of functions and methods and how they should be working. In the more, when we'll be going with more depth in the Python, we can quickly shift the thing again. Okay. There is a term called immutability. What is this thing? Immute. So, particular data type, the value of the data type, the key value of the data type, we can change. Okay, let me show you the index part one more time. So you can see just like for zero, we can use this kind of stuffs over here. I'm printing the 0th position. It should be returning age. Okay, 1 should be E. So each of the particular alphabet is been assigned with a particular position or index of this particular variable. So if we just want to update something inside the same variable, we just going to assign something. Suppose where 1. So in place of E, I want to update it G. Okay, just do not have to, we do not have to print anything. I'm updating this particular alphabet to G by this statement. Sorry. Yeah. I'm getting this error because this is a string data type and string data type is immutable in nature. We cannot mutate it. Okay, we can create a new string after modifying the old string, and the new string should be storing this value, that is fine. But string object does not support item assignment. So we have few data types which we can update at the runtime. That is possible. And some of the data types we cannot update the thing at the runtime. So we need to know this thing, which data types are mutable in nature, which are not. So over here we just learn string. String is not a mutable one, it's immutable one. We cannot assign any value or we cannot update after the declaration of that string. Okay, we can create a new string, that is possible. We can create a new string after updating the old one, that is possible. But the new one, it's not feasible. I mean, the working on the existing one, it's not possible or feasible one. You just try to mean the same. Okay. That is the immutability. I'll be coming while learning of the each of the data type. We can quickly check whether the particular data type is mutable or immutable in nature. Okay. So what is the next topic? Let me check. Okay, typecast. This is very much important. So suppose a particular we are using a particular value, but this value is not the suitable it's not in suitable data type. So this way we can update the data type. Suppose 3 by default it should be as an integer format. We want to convert 3 as a string, but it should be the representation of 3 is fine. It should be 3 as like the integer, but the data type will be converted to string. So this way we can, this function we can use. Okay, just like string str of the particular variable, it should be converting it to string. Integer of that variable, we can convert it to integer data type. Float. So this kind of just we need to put what should be the function and enclosed by the parameter, the input parameter, what should we be passing inside that. Okay. Let me show you with the quick example, with the practical example over here that I have earlier showed as well. So let's put a bit complex over here of programming. Be using a function called input. By this input function, what we can do that we can take or we can scan the value from user side. Okay, just like in C, if we have just gone through scanf, it should be same as input. So we are doing an input from the user. It should be, it's a function, that's why it should be enclosed by this bracket. So provide an integer number. Okay, so that should be printed and it should be asking for a number from the user and from the console over here at the output console. Okay, we need to store this thing in a particular variable. We can take it at x. Okay, I'm assigning this variable to x. Fine. After that, let me add this thing. Suppose add a for add over here. I'm adding these things with whatever integer I'll be getting from the user. I'll be adding this thing with 4. Okay. 4 plus x. That is fine. Now let me, I will be putting the same thing. Print. Uh, okay. Let me really put 4 plus x. No issue. Or the output. The output of addition is a. Fine. I need to pass a string over here as I'm passing the value. Okay. So this is a simple program. Let me run this program. Provide an integer number. Let me put it 4. I'm putting 6 so that the output should be 10. Okay. I just put 6 and I enter it. So I am getting this error. What is the error? Because the input keyword, input function, while it will be pulling the thing from the user, it should be converting it. By default input, the output of input is a string data type. Okay. If we print the thing over here, type X. Okay. I'm commenting out this stuffs. Okay. Let me put this thing. Okay. It's giving me the output, obviously. Not over here. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just getting this output. Class string. X is a string in data type. So when I'm doing the addition operation over here, suppose this was there, uh, 4 plus x. So x is a string data type. We are adding with the integer data type with 4. So that's why the error was been thrown over here. So string and integer cannot be added. Okay. So as 4 is the integer over here, by default the integer was 4 and this is a string one. So that's why it is not working and it is showing the error. So for that thing we can update x. We can convert the x from string to integer. So that is the way we can do that. Okay. Sorry for my bad. Integer. So now the output of this is an integer. 4 is the integer. Then we can quickly add it up. Can sum it up. Let me directly print it over there on top of this. Okay. So I'm printing 6 again. Yeah. The output is 10. Okay. So this is the conversion function which can be useful while doing the stuffs in our data frame in the Python over there in the later chapters and all. So we are quickly converting a particular value over there. So that was very much useful at that time. Okay, let me go ahead with the next topic. Any doubt till now from anyone? It's fine to you? What we are learning till now? Okay, hopefully fine. So moving to the next slide. Okay, now we are pushing. I mean, we are just the basics things. Some more basics thing on top of the data structure. List, dictionary, list tuple, set dictionary. Those four things we'll be learning with a bit details because those will be useful while creating the data frames and all. So just like SQL kind of operation we can do on top of data frames as well in 2 or 3 days. So just I'll be quickly focusing on those four data types. List, tuple, set, dictionary. So today we'll be covering quickly what is list and what is dictionary. Maybe tomorrow we'll be quickly touch up on top of tuple and set and the other stuffs as well. Conditional operator, looping stuffs in the Python side user defined functions and all for tomorrow's session. Okay, so let's quickly start up what is list today. Okay, so I have already showed you in earlier example what is list. List is collection of objects in this way. Suppose a variable for list is L1 over here, and how it should be declared? It should be using square bracket. Okay, so the bracket is very much important over here. If we just use instead of square bracket, if we are using curly bracket, then it should be told as a set. If we are using instead of curly bracket, if we are using particular first bracket with the curves, okay, so that is tuple. Okay, so set tuple and list, the basic difference, the basic structural difference, obviously there's lots of functional difference are there. So the main structural difference is this. Okay, so list should be, I mean, enclosed in this square bracket, and whatever elements we can put, we can do this thing inside that. So it should be, let me print the same L1. Okay, it should be printing in this way. That is fine. I want to print the type of this list as well. Type L1. So it should be printing us. It's a list. So the same thing I can, if we just quickly update it with a set, it's a set. Okay. If it's a curly braces, it's a set. Okay. We can see it's a set. If you're using a tuple, you can use this bracket. The same elements are there, but the data type is different. Okay. The class is tuple. So we need to be careful which we required actually, and the same way we have to declare it. So let's come back to list again. This is called list. Okay. Now list we have I mean lots of user friendly activities or lots of activities. Okay, first of all, list is I mean mutable in nature. We can mutate this element anytime. I'll be quickly doing these things. Before that, let me go ahead with some more thing. Okay, lists, I mean we cannot put the integer as well. We can put any other element in the list while declaring the stuffs. It can be strings inside the list. One of the element can be another list, this kind of stuff. We can quickly jump up the things, just like we can use particular hello, a string over there at the last element. We can also put some boolean element. Okay, so let me quickly show you. Okay, so it's a list, and we can see this kind of element. So it's a heterogeneous list. I mean, not all the elements are same data type in nature. We can use multiple element in over there as per our requirement inside the list. Okay. Now let me quickly discard this. Maybe that we can learn later. Maybe I need to include some more. 7, 8, 6, 13, 11. Okay. I put it in this way. Those are the, I mean, collection of all the numbers. I put the list in this way, and let me perform some of the activities. Okay. So what is list element we can see over here. Now, whatever we have checked for the string, while checking the string, we have typed in this way. If we want to check particular position of the number, then we can go ahead with same way. So the same thing, that is a zeroth position. The first one is a zeroth position. 2 is in first position. 3 is second position. The same way, the numbering of the index is in this way. They will be starting with 0, not 1, the first element. So if we just want to print 0, it should be returning us the first element, that is 1. We can slice the string and print it in at our own way. So how to do that thing? That is called list slicing. That is possible for also set as well as tuple, the same stuffs we can quickly learn it tomorrow. But today for list, we can how to slice it. The conventional way we need to put in this way. The first element where to slice, so it is the zeroth element from 1. Then a colon should be there, and after the colon, what what till what length we will be reading the data or we will be slicing the data. Let's put that thing over there. 4. And at what interval we will be taking the slicing part. By default, it should be 1. I'll be updating it to 2, 3, 4 later. So if I run this thing, it will be taking 0th position as the first, that is fine, 0. Then 4, 4 elements, it will be, number of elements it will be reading from there, it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, with the interval of 1. So it should be printing us with first 4th thing over there. So if we just update it to 2, means with 2 interval, it will be printing us the result. Okay, so 1, then 3. Okay, till 4 we have only those two elements. That's why it's printing 1, 3. So this is called list slicing. We want to slice it and want to print the same thing in the console output. This is the way to represent it. Okay, what are the next topic? Okay, mutability. It's one of the main point, one of the main thing. Even in set, or tuple, it's not mutable in nature. So if we want to, in a project, if we want to check which kind of particular variable we need to discuss, we need to think about it. I mean, what kind of variable we need to choose. Suppose a particular variable we need to change while calculating the stuffs at our side. Then we need to choose list. This kind of data structure we can use. Suppose the variable is immutable in nature. Suppose we are designing some cab application just like Uber and all. Over there, we are storing the ordinates, I mean coordinates of particular location. So the coordinates for it's fixed in nature. Okay. So the particular coordinates for a particular country cannot be modified. So this particular coordinate we can store it in tuple because that is not mutable in nature. So we need to think what kind of uh, data should be there or data should be represented in a particular data structure. Based on that, if it's a mutable one, then we should have to choose list. If it's not mutable one, that we can choose the other one. That will be coming tomorrow's session again. Which other one we need to choose, but this is the basic one. So let me mutate something over here. Uh, L1. I'm updating the second position. That is 1 equal. Suppose 18. Okay. Let me print L1. Okay. Or let me print L1 over here. The entire L1. So I'm updating the first, or I mean, this position to 18 and printing L1. Okay. We can see this element has been updated to 18. Okay. So we can mutate the particular list. The list is same L1 and we can able to mutate it. The first element has been muted to 18. So list methods was there. There are several methods. Just like append, insert. I'll be just quickly going through one by one, or just I'll be touch base on some of them. So how to do that? The same thing. We can put the variable L1 and put a dot. Then what are the methods available with list? All the things should be presented over here. There are these many methods available in this interpreter, in the Python interpreter. So each of the method is having its own work, just like append. Okay. So inside the append, suppose let me print 30. Okay, one more thing. I'm doing a particular method operation on top of append, and it should be mutating the same list over there. But if we just trying to just like function, if we print on top of function, it should be returning us the updated value over there. But over there, this operation it's returning none because this operation is doing nothing. Rather, it's updating L1 variable itself. Okay. So inside of putting everything over here, let me put this thing over here, and I can pass only L1 over here. So this particular statement or this particular method is updating L1 itself. Okay. So that means if we are just pushing this thing, that means we are using another L2 with this kind of operation, which is not fruitful because the method is directly updating this L1. So we can use this kind of method, and after the next statement, if we want to check what are the values of the L1, we do not have to put the entire stuffs in the print statement. Rather, we can only put L1 because L1 is currently updated after appending 30. Okay, so append it should be appending the element at the end. So 30 has been appended at the end. So that is append keyword or append methods we can say. Is insert keyword. Insert means in particular which index we need to insert. Cell, it's a self means it should be the by default. What is self? I'll be coming. And you can see each of the methods self is a common one. Self must be there. There may be some additional parameter called index. Just like when we are using append, we can see self and object. So it's calling, what is self? I'll be coming to this thing. It's a conceptual one and the default one for any kind of Python methods. Okay, the self keyword should be there. And instead of self, if there is anything means we need to pass some parameter. Just like append, we are passing the object what needs to be appended. A particular number that needs to be appended inside a list. So that needs to be mentioned over there. So I'm putting append. Suppose I want to put the second position, I want to update 45. Okay. Sorry, insert keyword should be there. Append we already learned it. It should be insert. In insert, we can use two particular parameter. First one is index. Second one is which element we need to insert. Okay. So the first element, the second position of that means the third one, 45, is successfully inserted. Okay. We are not dropping any of the element. Rather, 45 is been inserted in this position. 3 was been there earlier, but 3 has been shifted a bit over there. What are the other methods available? Insert pop. If we use pop, then the last element should be popping out. Okay. There are lots. What are the other stuffs? Pop, short, count. If we want to count how many, let me do this thing. Short, count. Okay, the things are understandable or not? Any response from your side? Nothing? Okay, fine. So I'm doing count operation on top of L1 dot count. Oh, not count over here. Okay, let me print on top of this. That should be printable one. Suppose I want to count the number of, okay, let me put 3 again over here. So the number of availability of 3 inside the particular list. So the frequency of 3 is 2. That's why it's returning 2. So count is, it will be helping us. The elements are repetitive. If the elements are repetitive or elements, the particular occurrence of these elements. Okay, that should be returned by this count. 2 is only once, it's presented over here. So it should be, okay, why it's 0? Yeah, the same way 2 should be presented as well. Okay, I'm updating over here in this statement. Sorry. Yeah. So that's why I'm updating the first element to 18. I'm running this thing over here as 2 again. Now I'm getting 0 because 2 has been updated by 18 in list 1. That's why it's showing us 0. Okay. So those are the all methods we can operate on top of list. The last topic for today is dictionary. Dictionary is another particular data type, and it should be storing a key value pair. It is also important when we'll be checking in later chapters on how to convert dictionary in a relational database that we can quickly learn. And it's one of the meaningful way of storing data. And we just like for string, for tuple, for set, we are putting directly the value. Instead of doing that, we have to put a key and the value corresponding to that key that can be represented in the dictionary. So the indexing part, what we are doing in the list, okay, that is not possible. That is not required for dictionary because the index is itself a key of this dictionary. Let me quickly show you. Then that thing can be understandable and the basic architecture of. I'm not architecture actually. Just like let me put D1 basic representation of dictionary. How to do that? It should be curly brace. Okay, and suppose name. Name is a keyword over there. As name is string in nature, I can put in this way. Okay, so name. What should be the name? Name. Suppose it should be Ajay. So here, name is a key. Ajay is a value. Okay. So one set of data I just provided. If there is another set of data I need to push, it should be comma separated. Suppose age of Ajay, I need to put age 25. Okay. So the two values I have passed over there. The first one is name Ajay and age equal 25. So these two key I have passed. So let me quickly check print. Okay, let me first of all check whether it's a dictionary. How to check it? I can check the type of D1 and I can also let me print the dictionary itself. Yeah, it's dict. That means dictionary. And the same thing I can pass, I can print it over here. So just like one more thing I will be learning, we can learn today for that indexing part. When we are doing that indexing part or top of list or top of set, we can directly put in this way. So print the value D1 and over here we are passing 0, 1, 2 over here, but no need to put these things over here. Can directly put name. Okay. So over here, the key value is working at the as the index. So in the dictionary, this is the main difference with list and all. One more quick part on top of dictionary I want to mention for the today's session. So the key value is a mutable one, but the key is not a mutable one. So we can put any value over here. Just like let me put mm, marks. Putting Ajay's marks over there. Uh, 2, 3, 4, 6. Suppose he got some marks in in a unit test exam, so I can pass this kind of stuffs over here as well. Yes. So no issue. So the value I can put list. Okay. But I cannot pass any key value which should be mutable one. So for the dictionary, the key cannot be mutable. So for using key, we should be using a immutable data type while declaring any key value. This is an important concept and can be asked from the interviewer side as well. So if we put this kind of stuffs over here, that is not good. So let me put something over here. Let me put true. I'm putting a boolean true. So that should be throwing an error because this particular list, it's a key over here. You can see age 25. Then I'm declaring a key. So key cannot be mutable. Okay, list cannot be used as a key over here. Rather, we can use a tuple. Okay, if we're using a tuple over here, as tuple is not a mutable data type, so that thing should not be throwing an error. So that is the main thing when we need to use key. I mean, when you need to use the mutable variable, I mean, mutable data type or immutable data. I mean, data structure over there. So for the dictionary, the key cannot be mutable in nature. Key or should be always immutable, and the value you can put either way. It should be mutable or immutable. That should be our own choice. So this is the basic of the dictionary. The more deeper we'll be going ahead in the next chapters, the more we can learn. Tomorrow we'll be quickly learning what is the other set, tuples, those kind of data structure. Those are left, and the basic operation of conditional operator, loop, user-defined function, maybe class. Then after, I mean, the day after tomorrow, we'll be learning the details. I mean, maybe on top of databases or maybe on top of data engineering, what is the function from the Python side. So we'll be quickly approaching those steps one by one. Anything left for today? Yeah, nothing as of now. The SQL operation I just want to mention that was a stuck point for yesterday. Yeah, most of you have dropped, so no need to discuss the same thing for today. Especially the question was asked for someone else, but she did not join for today. So let's quickly patch up tomorrow. If she joins, then we can quickly discuss what are the stuck points that we faced in last day and some syntactical issue was there. Can quickly discuss the same thing tomorrow. So let's drop up for today. Thanks for joining the session. Let's connect tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.
Thanks, Uptik.
Thank you.